You got a little teaser there. Howdy, it is Shano Whammo, and I am here to talk about my 10 least hot current NBA players. Thank you for all the comments and the views. I know everyone was very baffled on YouTube why they were seeing my video, and so am I. But sometimes things just happen for reasons we don't understand. But if you're back, welcome back. If you're new and drawn to, I know, negativity sells. So if the negativity of this is what draws you in, well, join. Welcome. We're haters here too. But also lovers, which is why my first video was 10 hottest current NBA players. So watch that if you haven't. Just to give you an idea of like my taste, my interest as a... I thought people were going to really give me hell for being old, but everyone just calls me auntie, and I love it. Like, you know, I had already been like, you know, getting into like basketball content and media and stuff, you know, like if you're over 30, they call you Unk. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize that applied to women too, and I get to be auntie. I'm your thirsty auntie who talks about hot NBA players. I'm like, thank you for everyone who called me that. I feel like you've created a brand, you've created a monster. But now I'm going to make it go time. My Naughty Nona perfume, that's what gets me in the zone to talk about these men. In this case, not so hot. This is a little spoiler of who was my hottest. I was a Mavericks fan, but now I'm a Lakers fan. And a Rockets fan. And really, just a fan of basketball in general. So, let's go. Now, I will say, I mean, I'm me. I'm a very average looking person. I am chunky. I am in my 40s. I am not pretending like I can judge other people's looks. Like, these are all millionaires, and I'm not going to attack anybody for like things they can't help unless very light ripping. This is really more about a personality, an aura, a basketball style, a fashion style, you know, just things that more so are unattractive to me. I'm not going to be like, this person's ugly, because everyone finds different things attractive. All of these people, I'm sure, have beautiful wives. Ostensibly more beautiful than me, but hey, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So, let's go. Oh, Ice Tray. He is a strange looking man, like, undeniably. I think partially because he got some busted veneers, like he must have gotten those like on his rookie contract or something, so who knows what his teeth looked like before. There's just no way those are real. I mean, they almost look like dentures. I just feel like maybe it's hard to get time to get your dental work situated. Who did I hear has really messed up teeth? Kanye. He has some kind of like, he got bad, I mean, I don't know all the details, but like he got dental work done before he was super rich, and it really wrecked his grill. I don't know, maybe this is what's happening to poor Trae Young. I like him. I like his personality. I think he's cute. But he's gotta come to terms with this hair. Like, that's what's really holding him back. Because if you have seen any kind of overhead shot, it's not great up there. But it's like he thinks having it curly is kind of like distracting you. It's not. But I did see him on something, you know, it's like where they read mean tweets or whatever, and someone said he looked like a lollipop that had been rolled around on the floor of a barber shop, which is very funny and accurate. And he said, what flavor? Like, he has a sense of humor. I think he knows his hair is not lush. And my hair's not lush. Like, I can't really judge on that, but I can judge on like, there has to be a barber that can help him with this, you know? And that would really help. And also, I just don't really find his like play style very exciting. Like when he's going off, he's going off, but you know, he just doesn't really have that je ne sais quoi basketball dominance hotness factor. I'm dribbling. I'm not even really drinking. I'm just drinking a hop water. Elderly. Like I like the taste of beer, but I don't want to have a beer right now. Uh, he also ice tray, like at first, and his little shiver. I'm like it's funny, and I love anybody's like having their own unique Sally, except for a certain somebody who comes in at number one. But I'm like, really, when you think about it, like an ice tray is not hard, or like it's just a play on words. And being chilly is not really like dominant vibes. So I just say I feel like he could get hotter, but also the fact that I really triggered some people, maybe really just one person in my comments, that they're 6'5" is not normal. That's incredibly tall. Like, I get it. I know men, it's unfair the way men's height is. I've never cared about height. Like, I can go, I don't know if I'm dating anybody shorter than me, but I'd date somebody my height, and much taller. Like, it's just one of a million features of a person that can make them attractive or not. Like, I've seen some very, like, sometimes people are tall in an unattractive way. And sometimes I love, like, a short king. So that's, like, truly barely a consideration for me. But he said something not too long ago that was like, if I was 6'6", I'd be the number one player in the league. But you aren't. You're a normal human-sized guard. Like, deal with it. Like, embrace that. I've never heard Kyrie say anything like that. I feel like they probably have similar builds. I don't know. If I'm wrong, well, we'll never know. Peyton Pritchard. Now, I have my issues with just playing the Celtics in the finals. Like, I was a Mavericks fan, so, like, you saw me, though. I can work it out. I do put Jaylen Brown in my hottest players. But Peyton Pritchard, something about him and his haircut, and yes, this is a joke. She was on Orange is the New Black, and I think something about his haircut really gives the same vibe. And, I said I love Tyler Hero's, like, straight out the joint buzz cut. This does not work for him, in my opinion. And what else do I have to say? He got no upper lip. And, like I said, I'm very open-minded to all kinds of things. Everyone has their different things that are, like, deal breakers or neutrals or appealing. But, like, this is not working for me. It's mean. But, I mean, when he's not looking like this, he looks fine. And when he does do a crazy half-court three, you're like, he's the greatest basketball player in the world. And he pulled some of those. I actually don't even know if it was in the finals. Maybe I just saw him do it, like, in the regular season. I don't know. But, like, I am triggered. It was like that Max Strus 3 game winner in a game with the Cavaliers that happened last year. That, like, I will never not hold that against Max Strus. So I will never not hold this thing that I vaguely remember against Peyton Pritchard. Did he? He had to. That's like his thing, where he comes out and shoots a crazy three. He had to have done that in the finals. That's like all he does. And that is kind of hot, but he doesn't really do much otherwise. Although I saw that he's kind of in 6-man talks. So I think he's a good player, but I think it's hard to be this pale as a NBA player because I don't know, something about the lights, like the lights are too bright and they make you look really pale. Like I have room to talk. I'm incredibly pale. You can't tell because I'm kind of in shadow, but like I'm translucent. Josh Giddey. I know he is objectively handsome, but just like in a way that I don't like. It's like pretty boy handsome, which if you can see, that's just like not my type as a rule. And he's very, very pale. And it's like, I can't be with someone as pale as me or else like we'd never be able to leave the house. Also, questionable dating choices. I'm not going to cancel him entirely. He is very young. He's 22 now, so he must have been 20 or 21 when he dated a girl that was definitely underage and got a lot of hot water for it. But she also seemed like she was pretty obnoxious because she was so young, but she was also just like posting about it online a lot in a way that was like, kind of felt sorry for him. Like, she's really not doing you any favors. And like, I just feel like when you're that young and you meet a girl, this is very cliche, you meet a girl in the club and you're like, well, she's drinking, so she can't be 16. I do feel as though someone needed to have trained him before that. Like, sometimes underage girls get in the club, and like, so you need to tread carefully. But it is a mark against him, but he will, now if he is 25 and he's dating a 16-year-old, we're going to see that as a pattern and we're going to cancel him. But right now, he's just in my top 8 least attractive players. Porzingis. He can be cute, like, but for some reason, especially when he's in play mode, he has the caveman brow of the century. Like, it looks like his brow is hanging so far over his eyes, how does he see? Which, I mean, caveman features can be hot, they're just not working for me in this particular package. And maybe this is mean, he has a slender man build. Sometimes you're just too tall and skinny, and it's not for me. Like, that's gonna be for others. But like, I think because I'm thick, the thought of a very tall, lanky man is like, we would look silly together, and I feel like I would crush him. Although, I mean, he's not muscular. It's not for me. The hairline's not for me. And the mouth breathing's not for me. He kind of gives anti-Shangoon. He does not make mouth breathing work for him. And I'm still triggered because the first game of the finals, he had been out, I think, the whole playoffs, and then he comes back for the first game of the finals and is like going off. And I remember watching it at the Outback Steakhouse and being like, oh no, I guess he is good. And then he was on my fantasy team and he kept getting injured. Like, he would be like available until someone finally drops him because he was injured, and then you pick him up and then he get injured. And so it's just like, he's a very inconsistent performer for me. And that's a turn off. Rudy Gobert, he sucks. Hence why I chose this picture of him being choked out by Draymond. I mean, Draymond's a psychopath, but I mean, I'm almost ready to put him in my next hot video. Like, he's old in a way that I find attractive. I like that he's got gray in his beard. I like his raspy voice, and I like that he's insane. But I just don't. He's a dirty player. He tries to get people hurt. He has a very strange affect. You know, it's just like a known thing. Like, nobody likes him. Like, I think the story goes, like, Rudy had nothing to do with this fight, and Draymond had no business putting him in a chokehold. He just wanted to because he doesn't like him. And like, when during the finals, during the Western Conference Finals, my beloved Daniel Gafford, which, I mean, honestly, he could make it into the honorable mention too. He has beautiful eyes. And it has a cute personality. And he's very sweet to his wife. But who is also from the small town in Arkansas that he's from that I've been to before. Anyway, when he was up talking to the presenters, and Draymond was one of them, which is so crazy to me that this man who gets in so much trouble for being a loose cannon gets to like call games as an active player, and then also have a podcast where he just talks openly about the league he's currently playing in. I don't know. That feels like crazy to me, but who asked me? No. But he's like giving like advice directly to Daniel Gafford about how to, what's the word? Guard against Gobert, because he just hates him so much. And that's funny. And it makes me not attracted to him. He's also so veiny. Like, is he on steroids? Maybe everybody is. I don't know. But he has like, he is very muscle, but it's like kind of like sinewy muscle that just doesn't do it for me. And like, and he's so veiny. He's not for me. He's for someone else. Okay, Jared McCain. This is a mean picture. But I think he's cute. He's too young. I mean, my criticism of a lot of like attractive basketball players is they're too young for me. If you are a rookie, or even 2 or 3 years in, like, you were, I don't know if I could have had you like be your mother, but like, we're getting into like, I could have been your mother territory. But this dancing's not for me. I feel like maybe it's something about the younger generation is a little bit more fluid in their, like, you know, they don't find these dances like embarrassing. But me, myself, and we find it cringe and not hot. And I love that he wears nail polish. Like, that's cool. Like, I love not adhering to gender binaries. But with the dancing, it's just not, man's not hot to me. And poor 76ers have been through the gigs. Tyrese Maxey could be on my honorable mentions list because I do think he's very cute. Joel Embiid, not so much. They also have Kelly Oubre Jr. Shout out if you're watching. There is someone on Instagram coming at me and other people in my comments so hard because I didn't like Kelly Oubre Jr. And I'm like, hey, I hope he appreciates your dedication. Paolo Banchero. He was my #1 draft in my fantasy team. So I have a great attachment to him. Again, very young. I feel like he could grow into being hotter to me because he is like a big boy. Like he's not like as thick as Luka. That's my ideal level of thickness, but he's just like, he big. And I like that. But he looks like my nephew, which I don't know if everybody could see it. My nephew is, not enormous and very white, but there's something, especially when he talks, that he reminds me of my nephew, and I'm like, nope, shut it down. So that's probably the main one. Is there anything else? But we'll see. We'll see where he goes. If he grows up and he looks less like my nephew, and just kind of like, he kind of has still like a little bit of a baby face to me. Okay, I have nothing to say. Miles Bridges is technically handsome, but he also is like not just a domestic abuser. Like there was an incident where he almost certainly committed domestic violence against his wife or his partner at the time in front of the kids. Then he got in trouble again for like a different incident. Like the fact that he's still playing in the NBA is bad. I know he got suspended for some games, but like, I don't know. That's very not hot to me. And #1, Mr. Jason Tater. I talked a little bit about this in my hot video. He is an objectively handsome man. He is very fit. He has very like nice tattoos, and the hair is nice. The facial hair is nice. He's like very well maintained. Cute face, slim waist, and a big behind. Not a huge behind, but he's a little bit of a dumper. But just no vibes, no aura, no charisma, no nothing. And I know, that he isn't required to have that. He was an excellent basketball player, but it doesn't make him attractive to me. Also, this seems mean, but he was saying like how much of a mama's boy he was, which I mean, it was very much a classic, like, it was just him and his mama growing up, and it's actually very, very sweet, so I should not read him for it, but you're old enough, bro. You're 26. Like, I need to stop hearing stories about you sleeping in bed with your mama. I need you to, like, nut up. And I know he loves his sweet son, and Deuce can't help the fact that his name is Deuce. Like, I mean, we do know, like, dropping a Deuce. Like, I don't know, like, that's not what I would name my child. And he threw that. Was that on him, or was that on a random child that he threw his towel? I think it was on his son. Like I said, with Luca and baby Gabriella, they actually have like seemingly the opposite approach where like she is not ever on camera. Like they blur her face out in pictures. And for some reason, that just makes more sense to me than putting your kid out there like all the time. And it just seems like there's a balance, and because he has no charisma, making his only, like, his identity is having one singular child is funny, because all these men have, like, multiple children. And, it's always cute when they bring them on the press conference or whatever. Nobody's holding a child that small. But it's just too much. It's too much. His potato chips were good. I can't remember, were they Flamin' Hot sour, cheddar and sour cream? Because there were two. I think Anthony Davis also had a flavor, and his might have been the lime ones, and they had a very artificial lime taste to them. I love a funky chip flavor, but the Jason Tater, I think his were Flamin' Hot sour cream and onion. Nope, cheddar and sour cream, and they were good. I'll give him that. And ever since I saw those, I started calling him Jason Tater, which I think is funny. I don't care, but that's it. See, I didn't even go that long. It's a pretty short video because I'm not gonna. I still feel guilty about making fun of Peyton Pritchard's lack of an upper lip. Like, please, Peyton Pritchard, if you see this and you're offended, make a video about how ugly I am. It would be an honor because you're actually pretty cute. So, on that note, I'm gonna think about making another video. I don't know. I hope people keep watching these. I thought I was done. You were sitting there watching me wrap it up with number 2. I forgot my number 1. Possibly because I don't ever want to think about this person, and I blocked him out of my memory. Steph Curry. He is repugnant to me. I heard someone say, like, does anyone not like Steph Curry other than LeBron Glazers? I'm not a LeBron Glazer. I am just a person with eyes. I don't feel bad even like ripping him a new one for his looks because he is very successful and he doesn't care what I think. Aisha Curry, beautiful. Kids, beautiful. Him, disgusting. Look, I've never seen a man, especially a man who is like in good shape, look so bad in a turtleneck. Like, he looks like a character he looks like an SNL character of like a asexual therapist. I don't know. I just don't find him one nugget of attractiveness. I know, except for when he goes off, you know, like watching the Olympics. He is very good at throwing the ball. He's very good at shooting a 3. No shit. And he has, you know, single-handedly changed the game. I guess you could say quadruple-handedly with Klay Thompson. But like the amount of me not liking him way overshadows his basketball dominance. No amount of that's going to make up for this. He just looks bad. He just has a goofy face. And it's like, he can't help it, but I don't think his personality backs it up, you know? Like, if you are really cool and funny and hot, like in your amount of charisma and aura, and you can make up for the fact, it's not even like I have a problem with gap teeth. I just have a problem with his gap teeth. He needs to stop chewing on that fucking mouth guard. It makes me fucking crazy. I mean, other people have mouth guards. I don't understand the people that don't. Like, you're just like, teeth, who are they? I'll just get more. So I understand when to protect your teeth. I don't like veneers. I'm a classic teeth falling out dream haver. But just leave it in your goddamn mouth. Quit chewing on it. It makes me want to rip them out of his mouth and shove them up his ass. He really sets me off. And anyone that makes a big to-do about being religious or Christian, like, is a turn off to me. Everyone except for Paige Becker. She can talk about being Christian all day, and I love it. But anyone else. And I say he's a fake because I have a story that I cannot share, and I can give you no details. But it's just one story, so it tells you he acts this way all the time. A absolute asshole diva in a work setting. Like, that's all I can say. He was an asshole that caused an entire production a great amount of hassle and inconvenience because he thinks he's Mr. Splash Brother #1. Like, fuck you. That's all I can say. But it was sort of like, I got that impression from him that he was a phony to be such like a nice, wholesome guy for the children. But I could sense it, and then I heard the story from a reliable source who lived it. And you know, that's all it did was prove what I already suspected. Was that he sucks. Yep. Even cornier than Jason Tatum. But then I did see that video of him singing with Paramore. I don't actually like Paramore. I'm a little bit old. They were a little after my time. But so I don't have any particular attachment to Paramore, except for Misery Business. It's a good song. And he went on stage with them and sang, which I do find sort of endearing, because I wouldn't have thought he'd be a big Paramore fan. But it still didn't make him hot. If he had sung with like a good band that I liked, maybe he could have gotten some points back. But he is just my anti-thirst trap. He dries me all the way out. I gotta get a drink. I'm so dry. I need 2 drinks. And I mean, he's got a beard. You think that could work for me? No. It's a no-go. His brother, I actually think, is okay looking. Seth Curry briefly played for the Mavericks, or I think he actually played for the Mavericks twice. He's a little bit better looking in my opinion, but it's less about looks, although they do not help, and more about the fact that he sucks. Not as a person. I can't say like, oh, he sucks as a person across the board, but I have heard that he sucks, and he gives the impression that he's, oh, and then I left out his terrible celebrations. Like, there is nothing masculine or sensual about man shimmying like this. Like, not to say that someone couldn't do it. I actually feel like Klay Thompson does it in a way that doesn't make me want to puke. But when he does it, this is weak. This is weak. They're all weak. They're all weak. He just has no vibes. I'm old, so I say vibes. I'm not used to saying aura. And charisma. I will not say Riz. Riz, I think, has passed, thank God, because, like, why don't you just say charisma? I guess it's more syllables. But anyway, I almost feel like, you know, LeBron, Glazers, that's do any adults care about Steph Curry other than his influence on the game? I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to get a lot of pushback on this. I don't think any man's out here thinking that he is, you know, a peak of male perfection. Whereas, like, this is a bad picture of Jason Tatum, but, you know, like, I think a straight man could look at him and go, like, he's objectively handsome. And I think if you know nothing about him and we're just watching him play basketball, you could be like, oh, he's hot. I mean, I was trying to use other examples, like, he's objectively handsome. He's objectively handsome. These men are he's objectively cute, I guess. But I don't think anybody's looking at that and being like, I mean, I guess he also looks like he could be a minister at a mega church. I'm like, well, come on down for Praise Sunday. We're going to have donuts. We're going to cook up some donuts. I don't think anybody's going to be shocked by this, but perhaps the level of vitriol I have for him as a person might be shocking. Let me know. Who do you find least attractive and why? And don't be too mean about the way people look unless it's Steph Curry. Bye.